Good morning. For Tuesday's trainer's tip today, we're going to just show you what a first-time round pen session kind of looks like. This is a 3-year-old quarter horse filly that hasn't had hardly any handling at all. Maybe been haltered and led a little bit, but doesn't understand what spatial recognition is, doesn't understand where she's supposed to be in relation to me. And we've got to work those things out first before we can move on. She has to learn how to yield the front end. She has to learn how to yield the hind end. She has to learn how to go back. And she has to learn how far away to be from us. So we started off our day yesterday with her running right over the top of me, and that's not going to be able to work. So we have to fix that first before we can move on to anything else. And it's just a matter of, where she has to learn where her space is. She's not bad. She's not a bad horse. She's not an aggressive horse, anything like that. She just doesn't know. So this is really good right now. She's learned that this is the distance that I want her at right now is 5 feet, 6 feet away, something like that. And I can change that as I go, but I'm never going to want her right on top of me until she learns to stand respectfully next to me. So first of all, we're going to worry about sending off this front end. And I think sometimes it gets overlooked a little bit about how important it is that front end has got to move over. And keep in mind that everything that we're doing right here is going to translate to what we do in the saddle, right? We're going to move her front over, ask her to move that front, okay? And then we're going to ask her to move forward. She needs to get away from me a little bit. If she starts to lean into me and come too close, I'm going to send her away. Now, she's moving pretty good right there, and she's looking at me. She's paying a little bit of attention. I'm going to ask her to stop. Whoa. She should yield that hind quarter over, and there's where she gets her release. And now she's standing respectfully, waiting for me to give the signal for what to do next. I don't want her doing anything until I tell her, but you notice she's locked on me. She's waiting to hear. Okay, so I'm going to send this front end that way. I want that front end to move over. I want it to move more where she doesn't get on top of me. Okay, she doesn't get to cut across the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to stop her. Whoa. Get her to yield that hind quarter over a little bit. There, she doesn't quite understand what I want right there. I want that hind quarter to move over a little, and I want her to face me. There. That's better right there. And hopefully I'll get a lick and chew. A little bit of recognition right there, but you notice she's really dialed into me right now, and that's what I want. At first, I brought her out here. She wanted to look out the outside of the round pen. And I love what Clinton Anderson says about that. When they're looking out there, he says, they're looking for a new owner. And I really believe that. So she needs to look at me and be ready for the next thing that we do. So there she's yielding that front end over. That was really nice. She kept her space. Oh, now I'm going to ask her to back up. I want her backing away from pressure. Okay, that was pretty good. She backed up. We'll give her a little bit of a release. Now I want that front end to move over. So this is what it should start kind of looking like. She's bending her rib cage around me a little bit instead of looking out there so much. Whoa. She moves that hip over. She gets a release. She moves that front over. She gets a release. Whoa. She moves that hip over. She gets a release. She moves back. She gets a release. I didn't ask you to take off. She's trying to figure out what I want. She's looking for the correct answer. That's all I want is a little bit of backup. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight just yet. I just want her to back up. There you go. And then keep her distance. So that's Tuesday's trainer's tip. I hope you have a great week.